们欢迎回到现场，接下来的话将会是 S 中国支队的种子争夺战。
是的，我是小米，
我是周凯。
All right, guys, we are back. We're getting ready to start the final set of the night. All teams are locked into the World Championships now. We know the representatives from China. It is Edward Gaming, it is Starhorn Royal Club, and it is now OMG. All that's left is the seeding. Who will take home the top spot? And who will go into number 2? Frostgrin, what do you think about this one? EDG, strong team all through the playoffs.
Beautiful team all through the playoffs. The thing that we haven't seen a ton of, we've seen far more OMG versus EDG matchups than Starhorn Royal Club versus EDG matchups.
Very true. And OMG, you know, going into 3rd place, having the troubles against LGD, definitely not quite up to the caliber that these two teams have been at. With Starhorn getting their revenge from the playoffs, we'll have a chance to face off against the Titans, the Giants. Edward Gaming have been nearly flawless, and a lot of teams, a lot of analysts have been putting them on the same level as the top Koreans.
They are definitely on the radar, and some people saying that they're the 4th best team in the world right now.
Yeah, big statement. Bold shoes to fill. We'll see if they can fulfill that tonight, or will Starhorn's Blitzkrieg style really overrun them. I have a hard time believing in it, just because everything EDG has done has been completely controlled and smooth.
EDG has definitely turned into a different level of team when the playoffs started. Yes, they've always been strong. They've had the superstars. Name, the big name, of course, on their roster. Perhaps one of the best AD carries in the world, if not the best AD carry in the world, and facing off against Uzi. So that's going to be an explosive matchup already right there. But it was like a switch turned. As soon as it got into playoffs, the warding just evolved. The team fighting, the gank path, particularly from Clearlove, decided to show up because they do have their weaknesses that were exposed kind of in the middle of the LPL split.
Yeah. And we'll see if those weaknesses are still there, if they can be exploited by EDG. If there's any team that can pull it off, this will be the one. Edward Gaming have looked immensely flawless since the start of the postseason, and we'll see if they can continue to do so. They haven't really played since that final where they quickly 2-0'd OMG and took home the 1st place spot, which guaranteed them this world seed, or at least this world spot. We'll see if they can maintain that number 1 seed, or will it be Starhorn, the super hot Royal Crew, moving on forward.
And again, we can examine kind of the matchups and how these teams go across the board together. So EDG's lineup, we haven't seen a lot of them. We can just cover it really quick. It's going to be Koro in the top lane, Clearlove in the jungle, Yu in the mid lane, Name on AD carry, and FCZF on the support. So you have the 2 former Ward Elite members, Clearlove and FCZF, pulling that together, as well as the all-star AD carry. The spine of EDG, a lot of people will go and say, you know, Name's the big superstar of this team. He's the one that you have to watch out for. But the spine has always been their mid laner, Yu. Not known like Cool for that 1v1 ability, but plays a lot of those AoE mage champions, Orianna, Ziggs in particular, and has come up huge and been the consistent backbone for them.
Yeah. Well, if he's the backbone, of course, they have to connect that to the remainder of the skeleton. Down in the bot lane, Name and FCZF are an incredible duo. They have such synergy. They get the early kills, they get rolling, and they make life hard for anybody. That featured matchup should really be on the AD carries, because Uzi is that guy that wants to make himself known as the number 1. And to be the number 1, you have to beat the number 1. Well, Name certainly is, but let's see the rest of the team. Of course, the introductions across the board here. Koro 1 in the top lane. For a long time, known as a supporting style player, but he put on his carry pants recently.
Definitely the evolution of Koro over the series has cemented EDG to being one of the better teams in the world, especially in China. Seeing a lot more, like you said, that carry-style top lane from him. Has pulled up the Aurelia as well as the Kayle a lot, but was well known for picks like his Trundle, like his Maokai.
Flexibility is the name of the game, and more so even for the jungler here, it is of course going to be Clearlove. This was the guy that always the biggest complaint against him, that people just watching, he doesn't gank, he never moves out of the jungle, he just farms for days. Well, what did he do in the playoffs? He showed up, and he showed up big.
It's very important to note that Clearlove has the highest kill participation of his team on EDG, so when EDG performs, it's because Clearlove is getting involved.
Yeah, and the whole team goes along with him. It's a coordinated team effort. There is Yu in the mid lane, of course. Very much the rock, the backbone, whatever you want to refer to him as. He will sit there, and he can stall out a game if he needs to. Ziggs is legendary for that, and he is one of the most legendary players on Ziggs.
But you see that supportive style of mid lane there. Big Lulu, a lot of Zilean, Ziggs, Orianna, things like that. He does like to play assassins and he can do it, but his team really relies on him to be that siege and anti-siege tool.
Of course, we're getting into the All-Star. The man of the hour will be Name, also known as Devil. This guy has done it all. This guy can beat just about anyone in lane, and ooh, that Jinx pick that he pulled was really scary.
That is the best Jinx in the world. If you've never seen Name play Jinx, it is really something special. He did pull it out in the finals against OMG. I believe that was a 22-minute match.
Oh yeah, and it really was almost no contest. They made them look like they were way down in the rankings comparatively. Name can make immobile carries look like they have boots 3 just from the beginning. This guy can sidestep just about everything.
It was also a very brilliant composition by EDG, but joining him will be FCZF, Chase the Wind on a windy day.
That is what his name stands for, and he certainly loves to make his presence known in those lanes. A lot of lockdown champions available to him, and you can't really ban the guy out none more than you can ban out the rest of his team.
Very special note about FCZF, he's one of the few, if not the only support in LPL that plays Morgana, or he plays a lot of Morgana. Was his #1 played champion in spring split of LPL. Didn't come out so much in summer, but has always had that pocket pick available to him. And Morgana historically has kind of been the Achilles heel of China.
Yeah, it hasn't really been picked up as much compared to the rest of the world. And he's one of the few that does popularize it. Also was playing a lot of Janna. Of course, here are their opponents today. It will be Starhorn Royal Club on a huge upswing, managing to take down their rivals OMG to get to this spot. Can they be the #1 seed in China, or will they fall down to the might of Edward Gaming?
Should be getting into picks and bans relatively soon. Contested picks. Maokai should be taken away.
I think it has to be.
Kale actually to be a contested pick between Cola and Koro. Zilean needs to be removed immediately from you. You cannot let him have that champion, and Ziggs is typically also banned away from him.
Yeah, but there is a lot of bans, and they only have 3 available. We'll see what they do go for. There is the Maokai ban as well as Yasuo. And I think Fizz has to be a must-ban from EDG just because Korn is quite too good on that champion, but it will leave Orianna up. Do you think Yu goes for the Orianna choice first pick?
It has definitely been a priority pick in the past. It fits with the MO of EDG. That said, Lulu is still very strong for EDG as well.
That's very true, and that can be either on Koro or Yu. It's a very flexible pick. They do ban out the Rengar as the last choice, daring the ban away the Orianna, and they get it.
Does leave the Zilean up, see if they'll first pick it.
Oh, they might be focusing jungle right now. Clearlove has had some success on Kha'Zix, very much success on stealth champions in general, but they will go for the Zilean lock-in.
To be expected. Big power pick. Expect that to be in the mid lane for you, although it is flexible. Leaves the Rise open. We do see Cola now hovering that.
That's going to get locked in, as is Uzi Eyes Lucian, although he has not been quite as on point. I mean, he was getting really, really fed yesterday on that champion. I don't know if it really fits into their later game plans, generally speaking. Starhorn, they just want to win off that brute force aggression. We'll see if they can do it here.
I expect Koro to go for Kale.
That would make a lot of sense, but they have a lot of options now on the table. Yu, where he goes is not yet to be decided. Name with the Kog'Maw lock-in. This is another champion he excels at, especially making it look really quick. So they'll wait for that one because they don't need to lock it in yet. That will be the Kale choice. And, yep, that's going to be Koro. So we'll probably be seeing Zilean in either the mid or the support lane. Support lane.
This is a very practiced composition from EDG. They run this a lot. I'm a little bit surprised that Clove decided to go with Kha'Zix as opposed to Nunu. See how that's going to work out for him. But do expect to see if that Kog'Maw doesn't go through another hyper carry as a very
Nami
protects the carry composition.
Locked in for 0. No surprise that Insect goes back to Lee Sin when he has the option with Rengar banned away from him. However, the Nami choice is really nice. 0 is one of those few supports in China that really plays this extremely well. Now, FCZF going for Leona, so we will see Yu on the Zilean choice, and Name really thinking about what he wants his AD carry to be. It looks like it's going to be Twitch.
Big Twitch player. So that's a huge comfort pick for him right there. I like the fact that they ban away Rengar from Insect, but they allow him to have the Lee Sin. I mean, obviously the only thing that can really stop the Name from getting out of control is if he's assassinated from Rengar stealth. The fact that Lee Sin still has the ability to assassinate or outposition Name, but he can't just sneak up on him, so I think that's clever there.
Not the same burst, yeah. And this just leaves the last choice. Do they go for the Ryze mid? It looks like they do, with Aurelia being locked in for Cola. And he has had a lot of success on this champion of late. Didn't go for the Jax, but that's not really their plan in the game. They want to find the duel, and they should be able to get it here.
I like that they're sending Ryze into that mid lane to face up against Zilean. Again, it's going to be a farm fest. Might as well take a champion that's going to scale exceptionally well into that late game.
Yep, and with all this said and done, it looks like we're locked in. We will be getting into the game in just a moment. So that is all said and done for these teams in Pick and Ban's game number 1 underway to determine the seeding for the World Championship teams in China. We will find out. Guys, we'll be right back after this. All right, here we are on Summoner's Rift. And this will be Starhorn Royal Club taking on Edward Gaming. Tough task ahead for them, but let's see if they can pull it off. And line of scrimmage start up for both these teams. Nothing too unusual.
And remember, on the stakes for this best of 3 are going to be the seeding for Worlds. So EDG, Starhorn Royal Club, vying for that first seed.
I'll see if they can grab it this time. They're definitely going to want to make some early plays. Starhorn is always known for this, although they did play an incredible controlled game earlier on in the night, so they are showing some depth that we didn't see from them before.
Looks like they are going to be the even 2v2 matchup, which no surprise here, both these AD carries. Very arrogant, very much wanting to prove that they are the best. If there's anyone that's going to 2v2 a lane for sure, it will be Name and Uzi.
But quite a different style as well. I mean, you can say they're arrogant, but it's that Uzi will make those crazy plays that just out of sheer chaos nets him a couple of kills, whereas Name is incredibly measured. You've got these very different, diametrically opposing views on how to play.
I like to always think about it as the scale of AD carries. It's Uzi on one side, and it's Wei Xiao on the other side, and Name's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, he has a crazy gene, that's true.
Exactly. The bloodlust is there.
But it is controlled. I mean, it's terrifying to deal with. This guy truly is one of the best AD carries in the world on that level with your deaths, of course, of the world. Oh, wow. Speaking of bloodlust right now, Korn has to burn his ghost already. Doesn't even want to go to lane. He wants the first blood. So that was well worth. Didn't expect that one. And they'll be able to get back into lane as the lane swap does complete. Surprised that Starhorn goes for that. Normally, they're the ones wanting to take that early game, but respecting Name quite a lot. And FCZF.
And he doesn't really lose anything. We were just talking about how both the AD carries are going to want to find the 2v2. Uzi and Zero are in the top lane. They initiated the lane swap.
That never happens. That's crazy.
Well, I think they thought that Name and FCZF were lane swapping because Name was pulling that sneaky move in the mid lane. So it could have been Uzi and Zero attempting to chase him across the map, but just kind of funny that that happens out of both of these
regardless,
characters.
It works out well for EDG. They get to lane a little bit quicker. Not really going to be contested on that top side. They're going to let Uzi get a lot of solo experience. This is kind of like a calling card of a lot of other Chinese teams. World Elite, very famous for doing this. But of course, this is a very different team. Starhorn Royal Club, they didn't get here for nothing. They should be able to keep pace in this early stages of the game with Edward Gaming. See what they do going forward to try and deal with Name.
Fairly important that Korn did burn his ghost, though. We didn't get to touch much on that. Feeling his inner Dade, bringing the flash ghost to the mid lane. Obviously, the ghost is very important because it's to follow any sort of roam.
Jeez, that early damage. Korn wants to take the fight. A lot of mid laners we do talk about get overlooked in the Chinese region where the ADC is king, but Korn is one of those that has been stepping up hugely, and he's making you really regret taking such a squishy champion early on in this game. Getting the push on right now. And a lot of pings going down. Oh, the flash forward. Can he get the other one? I think he might be able to. Yes, he does. That's first blood. Going over to Korn after he nearly gave it up himself. Nicely played. And now Corn is in trouble from Clearlove, though. This should be one more pick off the revenge kill. Oh, no! Wow, the Rune Prison keeping him alive for just a moment. Finally, we'll pick him off. 300 gold in the pocket of Clearlove.
That said, first blood, early kill, staying into that mid lane, whereas Clearlove's going to pick it up. You did get an assist, so a little bit of a bonus there, but should have a hard time against this Ryze. We'll give him an easy leg up to a first tier.
Yep, that is the plan that Starhorn is going for right now. I am a little bit surprised that they're playing the Uzi farm-up game. I don't know if he's going to be able to 1v1 Koro just because he effectively has a lot of range with his E. So Name and FCZF should be able to go in and take a fight maybe to Kola, but it's so dangerous to go up against an Aurelia, especially when you've gotten them chunked out already. Now, meanwhile, up in the top, Clearlove is giving Koro a little bit of help, pushing Uzi back.
Twitch, obviously very versatile in what he is allowed to do in lane. He does have some insane early game damage due to how his poison works, but we do have a gank actually sitting out in the wings.
In progress now. Oh, the bubble does land on Aname. Insect trying to make something happen here. Kola dashing in with the Blade Surge. Oh, they do not connect on the Sonic Wave. Exhaust is down. Name uses heal. They use a number of summoners to get out of that one, but they manage to escape alive. EDG stems the gank attempt.
More importantly, none of the flashes were burned. Yes, the heal went down, but conserving that flash, very important. Now you in the mid lane.
Doesn't quite have enough damage. Korn cannot quite take him out, but this is prompting a roam from Koro here to give a little bit of help, leaving Uzi alone. Not sure what Starhorn's game plan is. They seem to be giving a lot of healthy space to EDG, and with the late game scaling, they're kind of banking on, well, I suppose it's going to be Korn and Kola from here.
Starhorn has the mentality of win lane, win game. This is where they find their power spike and how they kind of carry through the rest of the game. And you have to think EDG very much like, almost comparatively to like Samsung Blue. They're all about the late game team fight, even if there happens to be a gold deficit. There was a recent interview with FCZF, and it's just stay lane, stay even, don't lose the Baron, win the game. That's the mentality going in.
Don't make mistakes. You can't possibly lose if you don't make mistakes. It's a clear-cut, simple explanation for what they do so well. And EDG, despite giving up a death, they have been able to really stay relevant, find a little bit of revenge in that regard. And lanes are kind of resetting here. You actually have the reverse of the lane swap, with Name going up to the top to try and contest this out against Cole. They really don't want to fight against Uzi early, and this is wise.
Uzi also bringing a bit of a CS lead as he returns to this bottom. See if that transitions into an experience lead, and if they're able to punish that with early ultimate. Does have the culling available now.
Yep. Might be pinging out for the dragon right here. There is vision on it. Clearlove taking a lot of poke along with Koro. From this combination of Zero and Uzi, they are able to back off, but they weren't able to return any damage at all. This could be trouble for this bot lane right now.
Do you see the lane swap? Name and FCF now up in that top lane. See if
Colin comes out.
Starhorn. Oh.
Yep, not going to be enough damage, but yeah, Uzi, they're playing to that win condition. Wow, the flash forward, forcing Koro's. Oh, he gets him! Koro's down! Clearlove on the run, Uzi going. Full hero mode, picks himself up a kill, and then they move towards the dragon. Big power swing for Starhorn, and it's not being answered by Edward Gaming.
And this is the obvious play, simply because they have the numbers advantage, not only in picking up that free kill, but the fact that they lane swap Name up into that top side.
Yeah, really nice juggling of the dragon aggro too to take this one out very early. Insect just patiently waiting for it to get low enough to smite down. Finally, we'll get that one. And a nice gold lead into the pockets of Starhorn Royal Club, one step closer to accomplishing that win condition that they have. Win that lane, get the game going. But Name perfectly content to just farm it up in this top and wait for the team fights to start happening.
With the dragon down, early objective off the map, everyone will return to this extended lane phase.
It has been a lot of roam around the map, though. Not to necessarily get kills, just to find a better laning situation.
Just to switch up the lanes.
Yeah, just to keep it fresh, right? It gets boring when you're in the same one all the time.
Expect to see EDG remain here. So with OMG, with Invictus Gaming, with Starhorn Royal Club, you'll constantly see these three-man roam squads
Name, be
across
careful.
the map.
He's
but
just
with EDG, it's very much more, you know, this is our lane, we'll stay in it. Yeah, we've seen some lane swaps going around, but it's not these skirmishes breaking out across the...
Yeah, that is sort of the big thing that EDG wants to avoid right now. The skirmishes are a bit troublesome, but they haven't given up too much, and they are getting a lot of poke out onto this tower. Kola can only hold it up for so long. They also are having some help from Clearlove, too, so if they can get this collapse on, get a little bit of extra gold into Name's pocket, and they can start leading the charge themselves, but there is a U hanging out, finding a pink ward there. Oh, Insac, he's low. Clearlove looking for the hunt along with Koro. They should be able to find it. Fail flashed! And Clearlove going to get himself a kill. Oh, boy. That's one of those moments.
Naturally having the vision, just picking him up on the red buff.
Yeah, tower's going to fall.
He was making his way, looking to spin that chrono shift somewhere. So with a 1-2 punch, not only do they pick up the free kill and insect the red buff, but they're also going to trade the towers. Starhorn Red Clubs do still have a global objective advantage because they got the early dragon.
Yeah. But Starhorn's pretty unperturbed by this. They are able to continue to push down bot, and a little wave of reinforcements coming without any contest now. You making his way down there along with Koro, so they will shove them off finally. But Starhorn has a lot of escapes on their side, and preemptively just spending that tidal wave to make sure that they can't be followed.
Didn't have eyes on Clearlove, weren't aware who else was going to come out of Fog of War after them, so not too bad to just disengage, walk away. They got exactly what they wanted.
Mm-hmm. Tower for tower, nice and even trade, 2 for 2 on the kills at 10 minutes into this game. It's really strange to say it, but I feel like both teams are happy with the way this is shaking out.
Starhorn Royal Club, I feel, is being bent to the will of EDG a little bit. Yes, they're actually ahead and even, but it's a much slower paced game than we've normally seen of them.
It's true. They've sort of been like slowed down to a level that EDG finds acceptable, and you know, that's sort of what they like to do. When they have a zillion or not, they're pretty able to control the timed pace of the game.
Mm-hmm. And again, Starhorn has always been win lane, win game, find these early
big advantages to Snowball.
Exactly.
It's just that they haven't been able to turn what they've grabbed into anything. Yes, there was a tower, but it was traded. The dragon is probably the biggest thing that they've gotten out of all of that, and it's a very slight thing when it's at 7 minutes.
Big thing going for them as far as across the lanes, though, is the CS matchup. Not only in the mid lane, but also in the bottom.
Yeah. Again, swapping. Name just doesn't want to see Uzi Eye. Just completely avoiding him on the map right now, and that will result in a tower for Starhorn. However, they are looking to push in to answer right on back. EDG, as soon as something happens one way, something happens the other way. This tower's got a lot of health, though. Clearlove might think twice about diving it. Cole is going to try to run the long way back, and Clearlove going to try and fight him. That's the Equilibrium Strike. FCZF coming around for the flank as well. But Cole's got some backup in the name of Insec, and that will be the tower getting chunked down, but don't think they'll be able to save this one.
Some nice defensive
Oh, wow.
wards.
I was wrong.
Heading off Cole, tipping him off that a dive was coming. He's able to walk out of that. Actually saves the tower, although, like you said, a stiff breeze can come back.
Yeah, well, the dragon's 2 minutes out, so EDG wants to establish some map control here to be able to pick that one up the next time it comes around. That might be our first real fight, but EDG knows that they don't have the AD carry to really do it. I think they're going to need to have Name get a good flank off if they want to actually contest it. So I'd be surprised if they actually go for the dragon flat out. Oh, Name going forward to try and make a play here. FCZF and Clearlove following up. Teleport coming in. The tower goes down. It's canceled. Clearlove gets the Zillion ult off. Now Zero is in trouble. This could be Name getting himself his first kill. Yu gets ulted by Koro. Intervention one more time to keep him alive, and they have those last second saves for days. Nobody on EDG goes down. Insect trying to set up a pick, but he won't find it.
So brilliant of Name to approach. He actually stealthed in, so it looked like from minion vision, he walks away, he stealths back in, stands just outside of tower range so he doesn't give himself away, then uses his ultimate to clear the tower to allow him safe passage for his team and himself to collapse down on poor little Nami, left all alone on that tower.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, that was the result of the casualty. I feel like it was very foolish for Cola to attempt the teleport. As low as that tower was, better to spend it on any minions or even a ward that was placed down there. It just seemed like a misplay, and it could have saved a lot more.
Lack of communication. That said, both teleports are going to be down, which is why we see Cola being pulled off the top, especially as that dragon is about to go live in 15 seconds.
Yeah, he's not got the teleport anymore to work with. Koro doesn't either, for what it's worth, but still, Starhorn needs every member they can get to really fight this dragon out. It will be going live in just a moment. EDG doesn't seem particularly interested in it, though.
Well, an important aspect about the Dragon fight is the fact that the Chrono Shift nor the Intervention are available for this fight. So EDG, it's advantageous to them to stall this out.
Yeah, they just need to wait for those cooldowns, and they should be able to. Starhorn is a little afraid of checking into that. There is a smattering of vision control. It's not really either team's to take right now, but the pink wards should help out just a little bit. Starhorn's confidence is boosted at the very least, that they can go in and try this dragon right now. However, Clearlove waiting in the wings. Here they go for the counter engage.
They do not have enough wards.
Clearlove trying to force them off of it here. They will clear this pink. This dragon's going pretty low, though, and thanks to the Nami ultimate, they are able to secure that one up. Picked up, actually, by Uzi. And now they are baiting the fight to come out. FCZF going, started up on a 0. Solar Flare going to land on Cola. Wow, FCZF, he's very low, burning the Chrono Shift already, and they have to get you. He actually misuses his ultimate, and Name pays the price. However, in the back line, they don't actually lose anybody. Korn goes low, Cola goes low, but that was a much better fight, and it's not over yet. Insect going in for the sacrifice. Uzi should be able to find a little bit more. Coling actually canceled out. Uzi, one more W will do it, and he does manage to pick that one up. 0 takes too many tower shots, and he gets the execution.
Beautiful tidal wave from 0 to stall out long enough for the dragon to go down. Starhorn Rail Cup, great job. The front line from Korn right now on that rise is incredible, especially because he only has the Rod of Ages, and it's not even stacked. It's, you know, 15 minutes into the game, but the power of that champion coming through.
Yeah, and that is, again, part of what they want to do. They are able to get him up into a superior position. I think it was incredibly misplayed by Koro to ult himself, rather than...
The Chrono Shift and the Intervention were used very carelessly, yes.
Well, FCZF went down really, really early. Like, the Solar Flare only connected on 2 members of Starhorn, and it didn't fully connect. They weren't in the center of the circle, so they just got slowed. And at that point, they probably should have just backed off and let FCZF die. Instead, they took way too many casualties.
Well, they had to get something there because they just allowed the dragon to be taken, which, very curious because Starhorn didn't have... I mean, it was entirely warded. Like, their pink ward cleared the front of the pit, but EDG had wards into the back. They saw what was happening.
Yeah, and that was a little bit curious why they didn't maybe attempt to steal. They just kind of wanted to go around and take the fight in mass. And that was sort of a bit of impatience that we haven't seen from EDG as much. Name was not really in a great position to start that fight anyways, especially to compare off against Uzi. And now, speaking of bad positions, Yu has to zoom his way away from certain death as Starhorn goes with the 4-man chase squad. Meanwhile, they send Cola down to the bot. This is typical mid-game from Starhorn. Send Aurelia down bot, will teleport if needed. Try to siege up the mid while we're down. And here comes Name speeding up. There's the race car on Twitch, and he tries to find himself an assassination onto Uzi. But we have an unfortunate bout of lag as that all comes right back in. And Cola manages to zone out the rest of EDG. That was very close, but EDG unable to come up with anything there.
Okay, so the assassination attempt, Name has the Bork available, which means that everyone on the map is officially a target, especially this low in the game. Uzi does manage to walk away from that. I believe the Intervention was also used to help Name kind of rush to the front line right there as he tried to chase down Uzi. Can we talk about Uzi for a second? It is 17 minutes in the game. That guy has 167 CS, 3 kills. That's a 17-minute Infinity Edge Zeal Lucian running around. That is insane.
Well, that is Uzi. He will do that. He will get the machine gun going, and it doesn't stop. He's incredible when it comes to getting these early game fighting champions up to a level that he can just abuse the enemy team with. And you saw, the kiting was immense. Name was unable to pick him off, even though he had nearly the perfect engage on that Lucian. Uzi still favoring this champion with great results throughout the postseason.
See if they can continue this snowball and maybe find a closure here. Again, Starhorn has an inability to close games. EDG, known for their late game team fighting.
Yeah, although I do have to give the comps a little bit of credit here. I think Starhorn is really playing much better to the way that they have wanted this to go. They are slowed down. I will still grant you that, but this is kind of their MO, to get this level of a lead at the very least. And I think they're able to do quite a lot with it. They just need to start turning it into towers.
See if they can find anything. Dragon will spawn in a minute 30. Will be the next big point of contention for both these teams. In fact, all of the side towers pushed down. The only standing ones are going to be those mid-tier towers. So we should see more 5v5 action. There's all the recipe and the ingredients to get these guys to face off in small enclosed spaces.
Yep, EDG burned a little bit by that dragon fight. I don't think they want to take it quite yet, but there will be a few more skirmishes as long as these jungles continue to be invaded. Starhorn waiting in the wings, waiting in a brush. Extra vision to make sure that they aren't seen out, but they are seen out by that other ward. Nicely placed, giving a little extra value here. Minute till the dragon. Starhorn doesn't want to risk getting turned on, but Koro, wow, with the teleport in home guards, bubble onto you to try and stop that maneuver. And that would have been a huge power play. Kola didn't have his teleport available. Now the mid lane, I think they're going to be able to knock this one over.
Just misposition from EDG right there, and very early, home guard boots to try to make something happen there.
Yeah, they forced it.
Don't lose the tower. Here comes the flank.
Okay, so they are very, very mobile.
Solar
Zero actually gets stunned up. Oh, that was a perfect tidal wave, and Koro uses an intervention way too early, but it's still going to be able to do some damage here. Yu falls down. Chrono Shift. Koro, he's almost out of this fight. Name, he's going to get evaporated. Goodbye, good night, Uzi with the plays, but Name still manages to pick himself up. Korn, Uzi with the bomb on his head. His days are numbered, but it looks like Kola is trying to make the 1v3 outplay. I don't think he can do it. One more explosion, and Yu comes up with a massive play there. 2 kills on the Zillion. Well done.
The spine of EDG coming up big, being the consistent member and putting them ahead in that team fight. Explosive damage. Even though it was a true 5v5, there was actually 2 different fights going on. You had a 3v3 kind of on the top side of the lane phase, and then a side and separate 2v2. Uzi taking the 1v1 with Name deletes him from the map.
Yeah, Uzi has really come up better on this Lucian, but the tunnel was really what cost his team at that point. They committed so hard to be able to take him out. The team followed him in, and then the reverse collapse from EDG. Okay, no Name, no problem. We'll take you out anyways.
It's also a great tidal wave to start that out from Zero.
Oh, and it was, he nearly got it blown up himself. Now, Starhorn will try this 2-man dragon, and I think this is actually 3-man now with Korn in there. This is really easy for them to pick off. EDG has been giving up on this particular part of the map since their earlier failure.
Priority with EDG will always be Baron. I agree with you, though. There's no reason to allow so many of these global objectives to go for free.
Meanwhile, they are trying to make sure they never get too out of position for any sneak attack by Uzi or the rest of Starhorn. I think that they have to worry that there's just a huge attack.
Actually.
Yeah, he wants to take the 1v1. He wants a little bit of revenge, and he's confident in it now.
I don't think he can at this point.
I don't know. He's got himself 3 kills. He's got a lot of gold in his pocket. I feel like in a straight 1v1,
if he gets hit by a crit Shiv proc.
Okay, that's true. But what about this?
That's his entire.
What about this? If he stealths in, I mean, yes, it's all about the angle, but if he stealths in and Uzi is just casually pushing away, he can get so much more burst on him and get the Bork procced as well before Uzi can really get anything back on him. Yeah, the crit's going to be huge, but Uzi, if he gets caught, may not be able to get out of danger in time.
That's almost a perfect CS Lucian. Almost a perfect CS Lucian that is incredibly fed. There are 8 kills in the game. He has participated in 7 of them. I understand what you're saying. This guy's terrifying, though.
I mean, we're going to put it to the test right now. Name actually getting bubbled up, and the Colin gets eaten by him and Clearlove. Name very low, trying to make the play happen onto Insec. He nearly gets him as well. Now the siege is on up mid. Looks like this mid tower might just finally fall, but that is a lot of burst damage from that rise. Clearlove, oh, he has to get the intervention out. Staying alive, but man, these are risky plays just to get a little bit more damage on that tower. Now Starhorn turning up the gas.
Much better control of the intervention, though. Was used perfectly right there. Chrono Shift is still available, as does you have the blue buff. Doesn't look like they're going to approach, and they're just going to give away the free tower. Yeah,
at that point, there's really not much more you can do. That was so close, and honestly, as crazy as it seems, this game could have quite a lot more kills right now. EDG disengaging well, but they're waiting until the very last second to do it.
Starhorn Royal Club, though, are definitely holding their own in these early team fights against EDG.
Well, they're completely abusing the fact that they have a very fed Lucian, as you said, as well as they're hitting a nice power spike with Korn and Kola.
Korn already has his Saris. His Rod of Ages should complete itself relatively soon, if not having already done so. So big power spike for that rise.
Talk about fully stacked right there. He will be able to just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and to deal with Name, the Frozen Heart should come out pretty soon as well. Well, actually, it's going to come out on Aurelia first.
A lot of MR across the board.
Yeah, the Negatron cloaks are coming up big, and I think that's especially because used bombs have been really irritating. And there's another one. They're more worried about that than Name, and I think that's with good cause as well.
Well, very important the Banshee fails.
Now, this game is starting to stall out just a little bit, and I think that favors EDG despite the fact that they've given up a little bit here. Decent gold lead for Starhorn, but it won't be Baron time probably for these two teams the way that they're going for at least another 5 minutes. I don't think Starhorn wants to risk that because the counter engage potential is just too good from EDG, and they're spreading out well across the map. Name should be able to outduel probably anybody individually, but there's always that risk of a collapse, and he's far too smart a carry to let himself get caught like that, so he'll smartly back away, just in case it was more than Korn waiting in that brush.
Unsure if it would be safe for him to jump on Cola, or I don't know. I think his targeting is very limited right now just because of the power spikes that we've had recently appear on the map. Korn is exceptionally terrifying. Cola, terrifying, able to stick to him as well. Uzi Eye, that one could really go either way, who's going to get a lucky crit or not.
Yep, well, Name looking to make something happen here. Doesn't want to go forward for it. Oh, wow, he does. Zero, waiting for his chance. There he goes. Zero might be in a bit of trouble. Tidal Wave, but he's already down before he launches it off. Deleted from the map, and they will be trying to push up this mid, Coling out. But a lot of it gets eaten by FCZF, and this tower should get knocked down now. They're going for the chase, dashing away from the Zenith Blade, and FCZF does not quite connect on that, but the siege is on. Oh, Solar Flare. Oh, they get a chance jumping onto Uzi Eye. He's gone from the fight. Korn, he has to run away as fast as he possibly can. Here comes Insect. Intervention, though, and Yu stays alive. Insect, not so lucky. Goodbye. Good night. Name coming up with quite a few kills in that engagement. All of a sudden, he's 6-2. And it might be more after this. Yu trying to make some action happen. FCZF, he gets away in time. So they lose Yu, but that was a fantastic play by EDG.
Good guy Starhorn Rail Club, though. I don't know if you noticed, but the intervention of the Chrono Shift were used on the same target, namely that Zillion. Luckily, Starhorn Rail Club did proc the Zillion ultimate, didn't make that go to waste. A little overzealous if they had just waited one more second. They do finally pick up the kill on you, but lose their tower in return. Well,
and more importantly, Name got a massive influx of gold off of all that. And that's what they really need to start making these fights count. I think Dragon is much more contestable up in 30 seconds, and you can already see the rest of EDG sort of mobilizing as a unit here. Starhorn trying to set up a brush bait, but it's dangerous. Here we go.
EDG zooming in.
Not going to blindly face check into that.
Got a lot of mobility on the side of their team.
Oh,
Kale,
boy.
Zillion.
If they call
Twitch.
this bluff and just go for mid, I think they're going to. Oh, they forced Starhorn to react. Brilliant. The mind games. EDG just slowly moving up on this one. Starhorn will try to get the 5-man flank off, but not the most advantageous position. And they're actually taking quite a lot of poke just to try to get in position now.
See if EDG will rotate underneath them back to the Dragon. Here they go.
Running around. This is what you got to do against Starhorn.
EDG being very controlled, covering their flanks. Starhorn trying to find a proper engage.
Oh, and they find Name with the bomb on his head. Submarine Twitch comes on in. Rat-a-tat-tat. Does he have the damage? Well, the Coling will move him off, but Uzi Eye is out of this fight, and that's going to be the Dragon attempt for Edward Gaming.
How fast he was able to move underneath the Nami bubble.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you take the Zillion. That speed up is absolutely incredible, and that Dragon, it gets bursted down real quick. They do have some minions knocking on that bot side second tier, but not enough to do serious damage, and Starhorn was unable to completely take anything from that.
And EDG's down in gold. Again, effectively they are still playing from behind, but you wouldn't think it from how they're positioning these fights.
Yeah, they really are making it count here, and this is typical Edward Gaming, controlling the pace no matter what stage of the game, no matter how ahead or behind they are. They're so consistent as a team.
See where they go from here. Of course, now Dragon's off the map. Contestable objectives. Could look for an early Baron. Don't think it'll be that route. Would expect for them to look to the towers.
Yeah, it's the next easiest thing. I mean, with the outer towers all gone, this opens up a lot of map control. I feel like if a tower doesn't get picked up in the next 5 minutes or so, that's when Baron starts to become a very real option for both these teams. You've already seen a lot of burst on both of them. If they do manage to get a pick on a key target, such as Insec or Clearlove, that might be the attempt.
Especially with Name running around now 6-2-1, like you said, had that huge influx of gold. The assassination potential just skyrocketed.
No, it's nuts. And EDG have made this... I mean, I don't even want to say it's a comeback, because they just made a couple of mistakes, but then they just kind of played it out smart, and Starhorn was unable to really do much of anything about it. Now they're almost kind of relegated to just moving around their own jungle. And the warding control, look at around this topside jungle in this Baron pit. Edward Gaming is not messing around, and they should be able to set up for one of those if they do manage to take another engagement.
Understanding that the dragon is down, there's no reason to have vision control of the bottom side of the map. Baron is in play. This is China. I mean,
it's always an option. It's on the I mean, this is like a late Baron in China. 29 minutes, right?
Exactly. Just rotating up to the top side of the map to take the next easiest objective.
Oh, Name.
Oh,
Uzi Eye. Hello. I was hiding.
Swing and a miss from the tidal wave. Doesn't disengage anything.
But they forced it. There really wasn't an option there, and he's just so fast he avoids it. Uzi Eye has got to be terrified right now of Name's Twitch. All of a sudden, this switch is flipped, and he's just absolutely massive, the smoking gun, and they will be able to clear out this Baron of vision. Not going to try and start it just yet, but they are really scaring Starhorn and making them rethink if they want to take any of these fights.
See if they'll reposition again to try to kick down this tower.
Split push Aurelia, not going to fully commit to that. I really like this. They're still able to feel like they're putting pressure all over the map, even though they're committing 5 members to one area of it. That's what's so nice about EDG. They will lose a bot turret for all of their efforts, but still, it's not a huge lead right now for Starhorn. The gold doesn't mean that much.
Have to be very careful expending this many resources bottom side, though. FCZF was pinged out, so Starhorn Royal Club know that they will have a numbers advantage, so they can come over here, not to do the Baron, but to clear out the ward and to regain control of this area. Yeah. Which has been a big aspect of EDG being able to bully around Starhorn, because they had so much map pressure since they just dominated vision denial over this area.
The mystical Baron dance. One team enters, the other team leaves, you clear wards. Repeat. It's a very procedural thing. Now they will be able to back off this one. Starhorn has been keeping up the warding quite well themselves. A lot of it in their own jungle right now. And from here, they still have this lead, but they're playing very reactive, trying to make EDG come to them, and that will never happen. So what do they need to change up? Force an objective down the mid or the top?
They need, if it's a straight 5v5, you're relying on EDG to misuse the intervention and the chrono shift. If they're used perfectly, then you need to rely on the mobility of your team and the disengage, re-engage from zero. You need to stall out long enough that the intervention and the chrono shift become worthless. But that said, the tidal wave is constantly being used, you know, reactively and immediately, just because Zero is being found out or picked off.
Name, speaking of picked off, goodbye. That's Clearlove actually getting the kill on that one. Teleport in from Cola is canceled, and Korn will still try to make a fight. This is not coordinated effort by Starhorn. They might be bursting down EDG, but it's not enough to take anyone out just yet. Yu gets his own ult off on himself, and they are just bursting down the members of Starhorn. Here comes Insec way too late. He does find Clearlove, but at what cost? Only Cola remains, and EDG says, all right, we'll take a 4-man Baron without the smite.
And this is the issue. The fact that Zero got caught out again is just deleted from the map, and there's no disengage to stall out long enough that the chrono shift and the intervention aren't used correctly. Free Baron for EDG.
Oh, wow. Got close to being stolen. Cola, with the desperate attempt, will finally give up the ace, or just in time for Zero to come back up. Yeah, that was really misplayed. It's not just Zero getting caught out. That's, you know, that's going to be probably the Baron attempt, or even like an objective somewhere else, maybe the top tier, or the second tier top tower. But the fact that they then doubled down on the commit, and then Cola cancels his teleport.
For how The fact of the matter is that EDG just now got the gold lead back, and for how dominating that fight was, the fact that it was almost a clean ace, an ace for one when they were behind in gold, is really telling of EDG's team fight ability and how they set up this composition.
Well, they're able to do a lot more with less, and now they're able to grab a little bit extra gold in their pockets. Dragon getting picked up, and Starhorn completely afraid. They know how to play from behind, but this is not the kind of behind that they want to be. This is EDG finding themselves in a rhythm, just cruising to any objective they want on the map at this point. They should be able to take it.
Focus should be the mid. Obviously, mid will always grant you the most vision control and map control. Outside of the mid, they should look bottom. Ideally, they would end the game off of this Baron push, but at least one inhibitor should fall.
Yeah, I think there's no reason that they can't do that, but the slow controlled pace continues and Starhorn just looking lost. Their advantage is gone. They cannot fight. They have a time window running out on them. They're going to rely incredibly heavily on Corn and Cola, and I don't know if they're going to be able to pull out the stops to make these fights happen.
Looks like they're actually rotating top towards the wave. They also have superior vision control in that jungle, so they can look for a pick. If they find the pick, they can try to snowball this one objective out of control.
Going to try to do that. They've already got one tower in their name for their troubles now. Starhorn mobilizing towards the mid to try and defend one of the last outer towers that they have. The bot side, they could start pushing out here, but EDG just has an incredible amount of siege potential. They don't have a minion wave, though, so it's still dangerous to push into this half-health tower.
They could always look for a dive. Again, intervention Chrono Shift, the power is always there. Diving Rise, though, absolutely terrifying, as well as Aurelia.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. And Korn has proved that there's a reason that he likes to pick up Rise, so now the easiest thing to do is to push this wave down bot. EDG will go for that FCZF. Starting to back cancels it. They've got control of Starhorn's jungle, though, and that's kind of a mental victory, at the very least for them, that they can press into Starhorn.
Starting the split push now.
Yeah, this is just Koro, and that's really all they need to do it. Keep a little bit of pressure on this mid side, and then force everyone to either stay there, or now they're running towards the spot. Here we go, the tower. They are going to be able to get a few shots off on it, but Uzi immediately sending out his calling to try and zone away the wave. You taking a couple more shots, and they successfully defend this for at least one more wave. EDG, ring around the jungle. Let's go back to mid lane, or maybe set up a bush bait here. Here we go. Not going to fall for it.
Much more careful on this side of the map. Just look at the vision control from top side to blue side.
It's pretty crazy if they want to take a fight in the top. So much gold in the wards invested into that. And EDG just trying to make a bait here, but Starhorn not even wanting to take the fight at all. They just continue to play on the defensive. Not much more than a bomb on Nicola's head that they're able to accomplish out of all that. Meanwhile, the split push continues, though. Koro does manage to take down the tower, and in the confusion, they go back towards the mid. Starhorn rushing to defend this Insect, trying to get a kickback off. Doesn't get it onto Name. Tidal Wave is up. Insect burning away. Finally, bomb on his head takes him out of that. They get themselves 2 towers and a kill so far. Name gets the intervention, and they all stay alive. Baron buff is now gone, but they made it count.
That said, Starhorn Rilka did a great job in making EDG react to them, facing down these pressure points, clearing the minion wave safely, making sure they didn't get engaged on. Yeah, they eventually lost the second tier mid tower, but that could have been far worse.
Oh, absolutely. Starhorn is playing as best they could from this back foot position, but talk about gold swings. This has just become massive now for Edward Gaming. They find themselves up about 6,000 in the lead, where they were down about 5 or 6 in the very, well, maybe not that much, but they were quite down in gold for a while, and it just hasn't meant much, whereas EDG have really made this one count. Getting closer and closer to that full build scenario, and Starhorn still trying to find anything they can, any window back into this game.
It's now up to see where EDG will go from here. Dragon going to spawn. 2 minutes, Baron up. Same amount of time. Are EDG going to stall out, wait for another Baron? They are a very Baron-dependent team to make moves, or are they going to use their newfound power in this this gold surplus?
Well, they're certainly making it look like it's the latter right now. If they can just continue to run all over the jungle and force Starhorn to either come to them or just slowly cede more and more ground, their goal is accomplished either way. But Starhorn are doing their best to try and defend this out. They've pretty much been relegated to their base in the immediate surrounding area just to avoid being picked off.
Look at Name's boots.
Yeah, he's got some walking shoes. Alacrity.
It's pretty cute with the synergy of the Zillion speed up. And for the assassination, the fact that they're using Twitch as almost their harding gauge.
Well, I mean, it is. It's the hit and run. They grab one, they have a numbers advantage, and then the team, by the time they catch up, they've already got one target. Now, Name is just going to be able to clear this red off quite easy. Yeah, Starhorn can't even go into their own jungle at this point.
Baron up in 1 minute. No one wants to give away a prime team fight as this clock ticks down.
Although Insect goes in onto Yu. I don't know if he knows there's that many people out there. Yu gets chunked down, but he gets his ultimate off already. Teleport coming in for Koro. That is the tidal wave being spent. Now this is going crazy. Koro finds Insect in the back line. I don't know. Zero's getting chunked out by Name. He's going to fall down. Korn is low. The solar flare is down. Name, oh, he could go down, but this is close. Kolo will finally find him. They've already given up 2 members just to secure it, though, and that is going to be 4 members. Well, 3 members. Zero just swimming on away in the confusion, but they spend a lot to get Name, and that is going to be EDG pushing forward and to try and crack the inhibitor line.
A massive rat-a-tat-tat coming out from Name, stealthed into the back and actually appeared behind Starhorn World Cup and started shredding through their team, allows EDG to pick through this inhibitor.
Yep, they're going to get that out without too much of a fight. Baron and Dragon both live right now. EDG should be making a beeline for that. There are still 23 seconds, 24 on Cola, 23 on Korn, and they're going to ping it out right now. There might be the defense there. Insect, they're not going to go for it just yet, trying to set up the bait in the brush to secure themselves even more advantage. There is a big wave pushing bot, though.
Name's going to be up to clear it.
Yeah, should be able to get back. Well, even Koro is already backed.
Scumbag Koro.
Yeah. Well, he's not got teleport available, and Cola does. So for the moment, Baron control it's not really over to anybody. So that's not going to translate into that. But a 10,000 gold lead for EDG.
It's the issue is even though the teleport, like if EDG want to expend Koro and send that resource bottom, Name is worth more than 1 Starhorn Royal Club member right now.
Yeah, and that's what's so terrifying, is that they effectively have so much value. And look at those bombs. Yu is just making it rain. They can't get anywhere near him.
See what Starhorn can do here.
They're deathly afraid of the CC.
A lot of bench fills.
Yeah, and the Mercurial as well for Uzi.
Didn't go for the alacrity.
Nope, not fast enough.
Wasn't feeling it.
No. Might as well get Distortion Boots at this point. I mean, he needs those summoners just to get out of these bad spots.
They need the home guards now that their base is opened up.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's another problem. Without an inhibitor, they're going to have a hard time defending this one. So EDG, they should be able to just stall this one out, and if they get a chance, just go straight for the Baron. They're not going to take it without due cause, though. Not being too hasty, just slowly clearing out the wards. And they get more bombs on Insect. So again, he's got a bit of a shield, but still, that's doing a lot. Name with the submarine. Can he get in there? They don't know he's there, but they had to guess. Uzi going low, going almost down. Name getting kicked into range. He does finally fall. Oh my goodness, they get the Zillion ult. And they are just wrecking through Starhorn Royal Club at this point. This is going to be Insect and Cola going down. Or Insect, rather, will just barely get away, but I don't think it's really going to matter. EDG have the Nexus in their sights, and they should be able to take game number 1 seed in China. They are only 1 game away from it.
Both the intervention and the chrono shift used brilliantly on Name right there. Again, the Twitch hard engage coming out of EDG here.
Yep, that is how you play Twitch, ladies and gentlemen, and that is going to be game number 1, 43 minutes in. Starhorn Royal Club, well, they're not too shabby, but they didn't quite look as super hot as we've expected them to, and they'll have to kick it up a couple notches if they want to take on China's best.
EDG just forces you to play their game. It's very patient. They fall behind. Yeah, they lose those early objectives, but they're so good at team fighting, at coordinating and organizing themselves, and at identifying their win conditions and what's really important for them in the long run. And it's primarily Baron control. It is a team that is very, almost cripplingly dependent on Baron, but got it either way. Exactly the game that they wanted.
Yep, they managed to take it down, so that will be game number 1 to them. EDG looking as strong as we've expected them to, controlled the game, played it to their style, and Starhorn, let's see if they come up with something a little bit more methodical next time. Guys, we'll be kicking it over to a quick break. When we return, game number 2 could be the final game of the night to determine the seeding for the World Championship teams. You are, of course, watching the Season 4 World Qualifiers for the Chinese region. Don't go anywhere, because we will be right back.